this video is for my friends who have thought about trying cluster lashes but are intimidated. So girl, I'm gonna help you. This ain't gonna be a short video, but I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna do this together step by step. So bring me on into the bathroom. Yep, bring me on into the bathroom and let's do this together. So this is your kit. All right, you're gonna get your set of lashes. You're gonna get the remover, which is really important for removing them. If you peel them off yourself, you're gonna damage your natural lashes. You're gonna get the bond and the sealer and then this tool. Now we need to prep. So we wanna make sure our lashes are clean. If they are oily, these lashes aren't gonna last very long. I recommend using an eyelash curler and a mascara. I know you weren't expecting the mascara, but I'll talk about it shortly. And then I personally like to use a lash mat. Okay, this is a sticky self-adhesive mat, and I will link this for you as well. I like to map out my lashes ahead of time. This makes application quicker and easier. So my lash map might look different than your lash map. That's the nice thing about cluster lashes is you can customize the look to have as short or as long as lashes as you want. I don't wear all the same size, so I like a variety. So in my inner corners, we're gonna start shorter. On the outer corners, we're also gonna be a little bit shorter because otherwise it can be a little uncomfortable. I like the longest length to be in the middle. So for me personally, I have a 12, 16, 14, 14, 12, and a 10. When I'm talking about the numbers, I'm talking about the lengths, okay? These are in millimeters. So the top row is 8 millimeters all the way down to the 18s. A bonus is if you have a hand mirror like this. I got this at Dollar General for $5, okay? It's easier if you're able to sit down and use a mirror like this so that you can look down into the mirror rather than looking straight on into your bathroom mirror. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes. And the reason we're doing this is because if your natural lashes are super straight, it's hard for the curled cluster to adhere to a super straight lash. So if your natural lashes are a little bit curled, then the curled cluster is gonna adhere a lot better. Now for the mascara. Now this step is optional. This is gonna be if you have super see-through lashes, you might want to darken them so that they blend better. This is also gonna be an important step if you have really oily eyelids or eyelashes. This just provides a little protective barrier between the oil of your lids and the cluster lashes. It's gonna make them last a little bit longer. But if you don't have either of those issues, you can skip this part. Now we're gonna take the bond and we're gonna put just a little bit on the edge of these lashes. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna tap right along the edge. Like that. Now this is where it gets a little intimidating, but I'm gonna hold your hand, girlfriend, okay? We're gonna lift up our eyelid so we can see really well. And this is where it's nice to be looking down into your mirror. We're gonna take our bond and we're just gonna tap the bottom, okay? We're not gonna apply this like mascara. We just need the bond to be at the very bottom. So I go on there and I kind of wiggle it a little bit, okay? The white adhesive is actually kind of nice because you can see where you're placing it and it's gonna dry clear. So if you need a little bit more, go back in your tube and then just continue to wiggle right along your lash base. Now we're gonna take our tool and you're gonna grab your lash by the tips. We don't wanna get any adhesive on the tool, so I'm gonna grab it right at the tip. So you can see I'm not touching the edge. Now it's easiest to start on the outer corner. We're gonna lift that lash up and we're gonna apply it right along the bottom. And we're gonna set it there and you can see it sticks, okay? I take my finger and just tap it in place. Take your lash, lift it up, and you can overlap the lashes if you're wanting a more dramatic look, or you can literally just line it up next to it. So go in there, and overlap mine just a hair, and I'm making sure to not touch my water line. Do you see how it's right above the line? And I'm sticking it there and placing it. Grab your next cluster and repeat the process. Stick, make sure it's make sure it's adhered, and tap it. Now, the closer into your corner you get, the little trickier it becomes because our eyes aren't straight, right? They're curved. So sometimes I'll take this and I'll slant it like this so that it is more aligned with the shape of my eyeball. Lift up your lid and place. Now, as you can see, this is not hard. I make it look very easy because I've had a lot of practice. Remember the first time you painted your fingernails, right? That didn't look good. But painting your fingernails is a very easy concept. It just takes a little practice to get good at it, to get like smooth and fast. Go in with that last one. Tap it into place. Now we're gonna go in with the seal. If you don't seal them, this is gonna stay sticky. It's gonna drive you crazy, all right? So it comes like with a tip like this. I'm gonna lift up my lid and I'm simply going to drag it along the base. Again, you do not paint this on like mascara. We're just dragging it along that base. Now I'm gonna dip it again and I'm gonna go back to my tool and we're gonna apply some right to the tool. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna clamp this together. So by putting the seal on this, it's making it not sticky, okay? So I can go in and I can clamp right along the edge to really make sure that it is lined up and adhered to my natural lashes. And there we have our first set of lashes. Look at the difference. Baby lashes, beautiful lashes. Let these babies dry. Once they're applied, don't get them wet for at least 6 hours. And you are ready to go. Now, something to note is that these lashes are water resistant. They aren't meant to wash off in the water. However, the more you can keep them dry, the longer they're gonna last for you. So when you're washing your face, if you're soaking it with water, when you're standing in the shower, if you're letting the water pour over your face, or if you go swimming every single day, they aren't gonna last you as long. But these are a long wear lash, so they should last you 5 days. I personally take very good care of mine. I don't get them wet very often, and I can wear lashes up to 14 days. You are not supposed to have to do this every day. So the point of these is that you can put your lashes on today, wake up tomorrow, and already look half put together. They're fabulous because they are applied underneath your lashes and not on top. To the naked eye, someone would have no idea that you are wearing clusters. I get asked all the time if these are my natural lashes. And girl, I always say my mama blessed me with big, beautiful eyes. She did not bless me with eyelashes. So using something like this is an inexpensive way to look like you have lash extensions without having to spend hundreds of dollars in the salon. The style I'm wearing today is the fairy, and if you are someone who doesn't want the really long lashes, they actually have a short set, so you're gonna get a set that only comes with 8s to 14s, so you won't waste any of these extra long lashes. I hope this was helpful and applying your lashes for the first time wasn't too frustrating, but just remember, anything worth doing takes a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. But if you have any other questions, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy your cluster lashes.